this one will never get a date in those hand-me-down clothes.
Ha! Kid, she'll never get a date till Daddy buys her a new nose. I would say, oink-a-volt, if I wasn't Miss Baltimore Grabs.
Do you dance like you dress?
Amber, there's no need to be cruel.
Would you swim in an integrated pool?
I sure would. I'm all for integration. It's the new frontier.
Not in Baltimore, it isn't. And may I be frank? First impressions can be tough, and when I saw you, I knew it. If your size weren't enough, your last answer just blew it. And so, my dear, so short and stout, you'll never be in, so we're kicking you out. With your form and your face, oh, well, it isn't your fault. You're just down with a case of Miss Baltimore Crabs. You may go.
Thank you.
I think they secretly liked you.
Cutting my class, Tracy Turnblad? I trust it was something really important.
It should have been.
What you looking at?
Nothing, not you.
Can I help you?
That move's swift.
You got that right.
The man can dime me on the dot of detention so long as he don't start me in my tombs, baby.
Does that dance have a name?
Oh, this? Call it the Peyton Place after midnight. I use it to attract the opposite sex.
Wow. That is so groovy. You're really good.
Thank you.
So, would it be kind of like this?
You can't do that dance.
Hold on now. Not bad for a white chick.
Hey, I know where I've seen you before.
Where?
On Corny's show on Negro Day. Negro Day is the best. I wish every day were Negro Day.
At our house? It is.
Hey, show me another one.
You want to see another one? Well, here's a little something signified to say hello. My name is Seaweed. Jay. Stubbs. What's yours, baby?
I'm Trey. See, turn, black. Gonna get away, girl.
Tracy, you got it going on, girl. You one of us.
You're joining this program already in progress.
Let's go.
I get who Caesar is, but what's the ideas of March? I mean, how can a month have an idea? Hold on. Come on.
How you liking detention now?
I'm a bad, bad girl who needs to be punished.
Hey, you know, Corny's hosting the Hop tomorrow. But if he saw you dancing like that, he'd put you on the show. See ya. Oh, whoa. Sorry, little darling. Hope I didn't dent your due.
Hey, Tracy. I was looking for you.
What?